said after only one shot, it would clear right up. And that was the best part about going to that free clinic in New Jersey. They didn't ask questions. They didn't take any snapshots. There was no embarrassing, poking. Oh, wait, hi.
You know this is live, right?
Mm-hmm. Hi, Internet.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Pete's Basement, where Roger shot dish soap in his eyes that time. Anyway, we're here to talk about comics as usual. We'll see what everybody's reading today. I see everybody seems to be a fan of this Umbrella Academy, and
it's all his fault.
What?
Wait, Ramon?
You look like you tracked something in again.
Who's that?
Oh, well, as I explained later on in my segment, I'm under a nationwide manhunt by Upper Deck, so I hired my own ninja. Yes.
Is he gonna be there the whole time?
Probably.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, so tell me about this Umbrella Academy. While Ramon still has breath in his lungs.
Well, he started it off last time.
All right.
He mentioned it. I picked up the whole damn 5 sets that are out, and I was impressed. My hat's off to you, my friend.
Well, I'll tell you something. Umbrella Academy came out of left field. It's written by this guy, Gerard Way, and drawn by Gabriel Bond. Gerard Way, I think, is in the band My Chemical Romance. Don't quote me on that. I don't really give a fuck about his music. But the best way I can describe this book is... what if Wes Anderson and Grant Morrison had a baby and they made comic books? This stuff reads like the Royal Tenenbaums meets X-Men. It's fantastic. The artwork, it looks a little bit like Mike Mignola's stuff. The characters are great. There's everything from the proper rebellious, violent character to talking chimps to killer death midgets to fucking exploding monkey heads. It's a great story. I highly recommend it, but you really do have to start from the first issue. They're at issue 5 now. It's out of a 6-issue run.
Yeah.
But if you can find the back issues before they come out with the collection, which there's no announcement when that's going to happen, I got to tell you, this one really hit another
current
fucking
standards
ballpark.
tell you it'll probably be out in a month or two.
Yeah,
No.
It's like movies and DVDs at this point. The second the series wraps, they already have
trades ready to go.
Trades ready to go, hardcover, 3 variant covers, and a fucking cartridge in a pair trade. But either way, Dark Horse really picked a winner with this one. Umbrella Academy has 1 more issue to go. I can't recommend it enough. Go pick it up.
Like Ramon was saying, it's something that should be lasting longer than 6 issues.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. I could easily see it as a 12-issue miniseries instead of like a 6-issue one.
You know what? But I'm going to tell you something. And this is a spoiler alert. They already whacked one of the main characters by issue 5 and blow his head clean the fuck off. I don't know how long they intended this to run. I'd actually like to see the back adventures before this. There's a character in the story, the horror that keeps getting mentioned. He apparently died, some really great, fabulous, fucked up death. I would love to see sort of the back stories of this. Spaceman, or what's his name? Space Boy is he's got his head mounted on a giant gorilla body with a jetpack.
Diapers.
You got to see it. It's great
pretty outlandish shit.
It's great. He gorilla body flying around with a jetpack and a ray gun. The artwork is great. Even you got to admit.
Yeah,
that's a pretty brooding panel right
well,
there. The kid just standing over the fucking dead monkey.
Like I said, this really covers the full gamut of monkey.
I mean,
it's not often you get to use that sentence. It really isn't.
Right. Unless you're referring to George Bush. What are you going to do?
I'm going to have a quick look at this while we mention another favorite of mine this week. Starting with DC, New Justice League of America. I've been recommending this to my friends for a long time now. A lot of my friends told me the series got slow right around like issue 6 or 7.
I thought it started off slow. I thought it got slow right issue 1.
Choosing the group and everything else.
I thought Brad Meltzer was like the worst choice for writer. I mean, the artwork was fine. Ed Benes doesn't hurt anything, but
I like Ed Benes a lot.
I thought it hit the ground on a fucking crawling note. You know what I mean? It was really fucking just slow. I thought the choice of teammates was.
I was not happy with the choice of teammates right off the bat. I tell you, some of them have grown on me over the course of time, though.
Yeah,
Vixen a lot. They've given her a lot of spotlight. Geo-Force has to go. Please somebody give his ass the fucking boot.
I'm glad they added Firestorm.
I understand DC. But I'm not. I understand what DC's doing about trying to bring up all these other properties and superheroes and make them like A-list.
Right.
Some of these guys are corny, man. I mean, they took. Green Arrow's sidekick and tried to morph him into this,
Red Arrow from
Red Arrow,
Come, right?
Well, and that kind of bugs me a little bit.
He's not bugging me nearly as much, but you are right. DC does have a lot of, less than core characters that we're going to actually talk about later when we answer Jesse's follow-up letter. But DC has been trying to do that a lot lately with trying to bring their characters up. Some they have succeeded, and others they.
Well, I would,
haven't.
staying on point. This issue wasn't that bad. Dwayne McDuffie, whose stuff I generally love, he was one of the masterminds behind the really good cartoon series.
Right.
I was amped that he was writing this stuff. He writes a backup story in it, but he doesn't write the main story. And the main story, without giving away any spoilers, doesn't suck.
No,
it's just it's just. And it ends on an interesting cliffhanger. It feels actually like an episode from the cartoon show.
Not for nothing, they've been setting up this whole villains disappearing thing for a couple
and they
of
have,
issues
and
now.
DC's got, and again, this is another thing DC's doing where they got like limited series to back this shit up, so you never get the full story.
Salvation
Just
Run.
a single, Salvation Run, which I haven't even
I
bothered
haven't
to
even
pick
heard
up.
of that. What the hell is
I
that?
didn't bother.
It's a miniseries that follows like where all the villains have disappeared to. It's it's like one part Lord of the Flies, one part Villains Unlimited, and it's altogether fucking lame. But that's that's not.
Are they in the negative zone prison by any chance?
No, I'm not giving away. I'm not giving.
Yes.
That was dreadful, but I'm not giving anything away. I will say that segues directly into this week's issue of Countdown to Final Crisis, which we.
Why do we keep talking about it?
Because
It's a running gag.
It's a running gag,
Yeah,
and it's got the
it is.
worst fucking like fake tough guy line in the
Oh
history of
God,
comic books.
yes.
Which would that be?
I'm Donna Troy, bitch. That's the line. I really wish I was ad-libbing. I wish I could make that up.
You can't make
It's
it
not
up.
It says,
ad-libbing.
I'm Donna Troy, like, who,
And she's punching out Wonder Woman.
and, or a variant of Wonder Woman. Because
One of
that's
the many.
and the head writer's Paul Dini with Tony Bedard.
What
and
happened to Paul Dini?
I think he had a fucking lobotomy, because
must
that's
have.
how it reads.
Not for nothing, that was... Okay, that line was funny when it was an internet fucking thing on YouTube,
Yeah,
with the
but-
Juggernaut, when some asshole fan dubbed the shit over the cartoon.
I don't think this one is even funny enough
It
to merit
never
that.
should have made it into the X-Men movie, and it has no business being here.
Yeah, and it blew. The one bright spot this week I thought from DC was Robin, which was actually half decent. I haven't picked up an issue of Robin.
Tell me about it, because I don't really read the the secondary
Bat
bat
Family
titles.
I thought it wasn't bad, man. Chris Batista's artwork is pretty good, serviceable. It reads kind of like a TV show. It reads like an episode of Smallville or something.
I agree. Because Robin actually has more of a life than Nightwing does, which is kind of scary. He has a girlfriend, she's black, hey. And, he has secrets he keeps, obviously, from his friends. And...
Well,
it's interesting because he's really trying,
and Chuck Dixon
he's so
kills
the
it.
heir apparent,
Well, he is, and Chuck Dixon I think he started the title. He's stayed with the character. He's really got a good handle on it. And he writes, he writes high school dorks pretty well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It comes across.
Well, that's why I like Ultimate Spider-Man. It's like the high school angst. So I have to try to pick this up.
I agree. I think it's a good comparison.
Would you consider this issue a good jumping off point?
Yes.
Because like I said, I haven't read it at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 170, perfect jumping point.
It's right after it takes place just after the crossover that they just did bring back Ra's al Ghul. And so it picks up, you can hit the ground running. Robin is still in high school where he'll be 20 years from now because they're never going to let him grow up.
He'll have stubble in a beard.
He'll have stubble in a beard. He'll be sitting there
Kids.
scratching himself pot belly, putting on his spandex.
Right.
Another night of patrol. God, if I don't pass calculus.
I gotta do my math homework.
But either way, it's a good jump on point, man. If I had to grade this, I'd give it like a B. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Or a B minus. It doesn't suck at all, man. It does not suck at all.
Very cool.
B for beneficial.
B for
Speaking of
beneficial.
stuff that surprised us, because I know I've been really surprised with this title lately, has been the turnaround on the Incredible Hulk, which became the Incredible Hercules one issue ago. They're currently up to 113. I didn't think I was going to like this. I just kind of picked it up because, I just finished World War Hulk, so I was like, all right, let's see where the fuck they're going with it. And it really surprised me.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was really good. It's lighthearted, it's cool, and they're giving a lot of backstory, a lot of old Greek myth stuff on Hercules,
Cool.
which is
Hydra,
really interesting.
yeah.
I know a lot about this stuff already because I'm kind of a Greek myth dork when it comes to
I
that
would
shit.
not have
but
guessed that.
And you
Ever.
would,
That's
yeah.
very surprising.
I do. I've been into Greek myths ever since I saw Clash of the Titans. And
Oh,
There-
brilliant movie.
There's a very bad place I can go with this entire discussion about you.
Just leave that alone.
We're going to stay right on point with the comic books.
Tell us about this one, Ramon, since you got it in front
I
of
thought
you.
they spelled Hulk wrong.
Well, I mean, you said
That's not how you spell it.
well,
It's a copy of it.
it's Hercules with technically his half brother, Ares, and they have this horrible beef going way back, like BC and whatnot, and it's cool. I mean, it's just sweet between some mythology and some ass kicking and some other characters. Like I believe they introduced Athena.
Yes, they did.
They
Yes,
did. They introduced Athena, and
Did you notice? Speaking of fucking Clash of the Titans, She had the owl, man.
Here we
She
go.
did have the
Here we go.
fucking
Here we
owl.
go. Here we go.
I didn't even mean for that
Here we go.
comparison to come across, but she
Here we
did have
fucking
the owl.
go. We're gonna need to get you some sort of like
mechanical
tranquilizer injection. It's not gonna last very long. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I picked this up on your and his recommendation from last week, and I was surprised it didn't suck. Greg Pak's a decent
That's as
writer.
good of a compliment you're gonna get from Adam.
You know what? I'm a grumpy son of a bitch. I'm not even gonna lie.
Adam says it didn't suck.
Adam said it didn't suck this week, folks, and you can hold me to my word. It did not suck. The artwork is pretty serviceable. Greg Pak's a really good writer. You know, he's a little bit highbrow. He's one of these guys who went to like Yale, traveled to Oxford. He actually did a movie that won a few awards, actually, called I think like Robot Stories or something. He's actually a pretty well-rounded writer. And he brings a lot of that to the table with this. He's got a good grip on characters. Hercules isn't portrayed as being too smart, which is about right. Amadeus Cho is really presented as being the brains behind this operation. I think.
Scary.
You know, it's good. It's for the first time they're doing a teenage character in one of these books who isn't like a mutant, doesn't have some sort of weird fucking psychedelic drug problem. You know, I think it works out good. I
like when they talk about him like he could be a villain or he could be a great hero.
It could go,
at this point, it can go either way.
And you know what? But that's what I like. They balanced the book out. You know, it's a really good.
They did introduce him as Mastermind originally, if I'm not mistaken. When he first arrived.
Mastermind and Seller, which is like one of the top 10 lamest fucking names you could go with, but it could have been worse. They could have taken.
Stanley created that name in like 1962.
You know what? I'm going to say this though. They took it a good way with this. You know, Amadeus Cho is one of the like handful of Asian characters in comic books. They didn't make him like the stereotypical kung fu asshole. They didn't make him kung fu asshole mildly computer whiz.
But he's an all-around genius. So
Right.
Right.
You know, so I like the fact they veered away from going the stereotype route. You know, and it's overall very good. I'm going to stick around for the next couple issues, see where it takes it.
Good show. What we got next? I know you guys have been fucking crazy about this Messiah complex. I know it's almost at an end, so I can't wait to read it. Let the spoilers fly. Just tell me about it. What's going on with this?
I'm going to tell you, it's starting to wear down a little bit. To me, it's winding down quite a bit, man.
Winding down, like coming to a close, or winding down less interesting?
With this spoiler, but they're kind of playing like, Tag and Rip with the baby. I mean,
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's like reliving my childhood all over again.
I don't want them.
I don't even know. Who's baby?
Well, that's the whole point. It's the whole point.
That's like the whole point. So
Yeah.
you can't tell me or them?
Well,
It's the first mutant baby born in a long time ever since that whole
Ever since the whole
House
House
of
of M
M
shit?
Right.
Yeah.
So suddenly the
That's
kid
the
is
whole
treated
point.
like a box full of uranium.
Like Messiah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Box full of uranium.
Yeah, right. You know, so but either way, I thought that it was written pretty good. That, spoiler alert, the way that they take out Wolverine, I thought was slick as shit.
Oh, that was fantastic.
And I enjoyed it. They even got the sound effect down right. I'm not going to say what it was, but he gets taken down really artfully. I really enjoyed that. But I thought that the artwork was a little over the top. I thought that it actually got confusing at certain points.
Yeah, this one was confusing.
Humberto Ramos is very I'd say heavy. I would say heavy because he throws a lot into the scene, and his anatomy is very cartoony, so it's kind of hard to see where his bodies are going.
Some of it works.
Oh, I never disliked his artwork.
Right.
Ever since he was on Sensational Spiderman, I liked him.
But I think it's really some of these fight scenes get really busy though, and you kind of lose it a little bit.
Busy's another good word for him.
But otherwise I thought it was all right. I thought, I really want to see how they wrap this. I think this should have been 10 issues, not 12. But whatever, it's still enjoyable.
Yeah, they always gotta do that.
Well, I still recommend it though. Like I said, this is one of those. This is where the editorial team really got it right. They sat down, they planned it out, they delivered exactly what the fans wanted. Great ass-kicking action. Cyclops has exhibited his new mutant power of gigantic testicles. He's telling people to just whack people left and right. He's like, kill everybody in your path.
Right, yeah.
Do it now.
It's about time he fucking smartened up.
Well, but I'm saying it's great shit, and it's nice to see for once he's actually got the brass to do what they've been presenting him as being able to do for the past like 30 years. It's a pleasure to read, man.
It's about time he's not a punk.
Yeah.
Well, so what's this, guys?
Well, this apparently is the postscript to Uncanny X-Men, and Ramon brought this to the table, where it seems that the next major arc for this is going to be called Divided We Stand. And they got everybody apparently walking away from the team except Cyclops and Emma Frost with her gigantic
How does she stay in that outfit?
I don't know, man. They have her dressed.
That shit
What I love, I'm not even a fucking lie, man. What I love about half these comics is they dress these broads like strippers, and then it's like they go out and fight like giant robots.
And nobody falls out of a costume.
There's never titty nipple to be seen, and it's amazing to me. It's just great. You know,
and I want to make it clear that I don't want nobody falling out of costumes.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're not
comic book nudity
pushing
is one of the weirdest things for people to enjoy.
Right,
Calm the fuck down.
It's borderline perverse, man. But okay, it's a little more than borderline. We're not saying that you gotta,
there's plenty of real porn on the internet these days.
Yeah, look, man, I've seen some real. The internet's a frightening place, and many of the people who live there read this comic book. Don't take that as an indictment. We still love you. We want you to visit our website, Pete'sBasement.com. Get at us.
The side complex is necessary because next month starts a whole bunch of different changes. X-Force comes out, and that should be a nice hot
kind of looking forward to that, actually.
The regular X-Men books, the straight-up X-Men, changes his name to X-Men Legacy, starting in 208.
Okay.
And other events that all lead up to Uncanny X-Men 500, and Marvel doesn't have many 500s. So I'm hoping they really do treat this special.
That's a good point.
And also, New X-Men becomes Young X-Men, which is like the third or fourth name change for that group. But whatever.
So far, so good. X-Men titles. It's going to turn into like Baby Muppets. You know what I mean? They're going to have whatever. But either way, listen. Either way, man. Again, I think that the editorial team they have on this has definitely got a good handle on the characters. They finally made these books compelling after like 10 years of just suck.
Yeah.
Like premier suckitude. Like they finally brought that back, and I appreciate it.
Let's have a look at the other end of the spectrum.
What?
I'm not even going near that.
Yeah, you know what? I just invented a bad word. We're not going to use it ever again, folks.
But we got a lot of bad words to use when it comes to this next title. We've been following along for a while now.
Why you got to do this? It feels like, fuck it, you do this. I'm going to walk away and go throw up.
Man, where you going?
No, I can't. I'm boycotting this son of a bitch. Go ahead. You enjoy it. No.
I can't boycott. Like a sheep filler.
Hello, Snake Eyes.
You had to do it.
I had to do it. I want to bring something up about Iron Fist later, speaking of Snake Eyes, but nonetheless, I really do want to get to brand new piece of shit. I'm a lot less happy with this issue than I was with the last one.
Who is Mr. Negative?
Mr. Negative is a new villain that they've invented because they figured out the reverse image thing on Photoshop.
I thought he was just like a pessimist.
No. He does think pretty negatively, though. He does. Man, I don't know. I was unhappy with the issue. The artwork is still really good. It's just, I don't know. This guy's running around dressed as Spider-Man. He's mugging people. Fucking Spidey's identity's going to be thrown out there again. Somebody's going to figure it out because he robbed Spidey and he took his web shooters, and now he just had the fucking epiphany that, oh shit, I got a web shooter here. I'm dressed as Spider-Man, and dude I just robbed must be the real Spider-Man. Yeah. Let me go try to get his wallet, and I can make a mint by selling his identity to the paper. Here we go again. Right. Didn't we just make a deal with the devil to get rid of this storyline?
I am in a different location, as you may notice. I'm currently on the run from Upper Deck because they did not approve my first rant. Bite me. Anyways, my second rant will be on Brand New Day. Yes, Brand New Day. And also about one more day, that previous nonsense before Brand New Day. And the history that they just wiped away. The last year or so had a lot of interesting events in the Spider-Man universe. First of all, was Gwen Stacy, twin kids went after Spider-Man. Yes, Gwen Stacy got knocked up, had twin kids, and they went after Spider-Man. They grew up very fast because their father, Norman Osborn, shagged her, and his special sperm made him grow faster than normal. So he raised him up thinking, oh, hey, Spider-Man killed your mommy. Ironic, isn't it? Another thing that was really taken out was Spider-Man died. Yes, Spider-Man got his ass handed to him and died. But lo and behold, he pops up in a cocoon made out of webbing, and he comes out of it with what? Spikes out of his arms and organic webbing. The next thing is, he joined Avengers. Okay. That's okay. And then he went pro registration and showed his identity on national TV. And then he got a new suit, a la Iron Man. Orange. Goldish. Enough said. He started wearing the black after he went on the lam because he didn't approve of going pro registration. Make me mind. These writers, gotta love them. And then he broke into Rikers. Now, who breaks into Rikers? Break out? Everybody. Break in? Who knows? Well, his aunt got shot because he publicly said, hey, I'm Peter Parker. So it's technically his fault. But lo and behold, Kingpin, the master of crime from the whole world, goes after him. And lo and behold, Omni gets shot. So he goes into Rikers and beats the crap out of the Kingpin in Rikers. Yes, I'm mentioning Rikers because if you know Rikers, you know that's like, whoa. Next thing was, he made a deal with Mephisto. And this brings us to the current situation. Mephisto healed her miraculously, but he wanted a price, and the price was the marriage between him and Aunt May. And that marriage was annulled, ruined, stopped before it became a marriage, and it was sick. My problem is, not that you're doing this, but why? It was cool. But then to just have it just jump back to a point and just forget about all these threads, I'm sorry, that's a bit too damn much. I mean, just work with it. Have Mephisto the reason why she isn't healing and be the reason why she dies. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with Mephisto picking on a little punk like Spiderman. It's fine. But no, now he's back living in Queens with his aunt, and he's no longer shagging a supermodel, and he's just back to square one, being broken and miserable, and yada yada. It's yada. That's what it is, people. Yada yada. Because this is like, I'm picking up comic books again like a teenager, and Spider-Man is doing nothing with his life. Hopefully I won't have to go be on the run no more, and I'll be able to join my round table crew. But if not, it's been nice.
So that's our story about Brand New Day. All right, Adam, we're done.
It's still on the table.
Sorry, bro.
Let's take a ditch or something.
All right, it's off the table.
You know, all I ask, all I ask is that you keep a solid supply of breath mints and bicarbonate on the table if you're going to have that out, because otherwise I'm going to be vomiting this entire time. Either way. While we're in the realm of Marvel, let's talk about what they're getting absolutely right, though. A couple of us chanced on Penance, Relentless. For those who don't know, Penance was Speedball before the whole Civil War, drama turned him into a raging psychopath.
Which was an improvement because he was quite colorful.
Yeah, he was a little light in the wrist before that. But, they've made him they butched him up considerably. Now
His loafers didn't weigh that much.
Not so much. But the series is written by Paul Jenkins, who did all the frontline stuff for Civil War, and that was actually some of the better spin-off stuff they did. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. The artwork is by Paul Gulacy, who's been doing this stuff since the 70s. Good, solid artwork.
It is.
And Paul Jenkins knocks it out the park, man. He actually makes the guy look like a really badass character. It was surprising as hell, man.
I liked Penance when I saw him in Thunderbolts. I got there after the first arc, but I did like where they went with the character.
The Thunderbolts got driven into the ground.
Yeah.
This one, I mean, spoilers aside, he takes down Dr. Doom. I mean, like, he literally japs him in his mouth and dents his armor. Like, it's a great... That was a great team. And even he was freaked out by it. It's a good art. I mean, I'm going to go up and pick the prior 3 issues. It ends next issue. And Steve picked up a book we've all been enjoying, but unfortunately, Magnum Comics, the Bronx, just screwing up, ran out of Iron Fist.
Ooh.
Ouch. But Steve got an issue, and I managed to take a look at it beforehand, man.
Iron Fist has been something I've been raving about for many months now. I was late getting started. I picked up around issue 4, went and got everything I could find. I'm even starting to pick up some of the older issues on eBay.
Scotch. Got the water, add a little scotch, just a little bit. Just a smidge. That's good water. Alright, welcome. This is the eBay segment. We're going to talk about all the comics I bought on eBay on Pete.
Steve, what the fuck?
What?
Come on, man.
We're doing the eBay segment.
Yeah, I'm doing the eBay thing. What are you doing?
But I thought this was a free-for-all eBay thing.
No.
Aren't these the comics I bought on eBay? Isn't it?
Move over, at least. Move over. Take that seat. Move over. Move over.
Where should I put it?
Fine, right
Oh,
here.
all right.
No, mine.
Give me a light drink. What out of vodka?
Yeah. Thanks.
I'm just gonna read while you do your thing.
You do your thing.
All right, baby.
Do what you gotta do. Hi, folks. I'm Pete, and welcome back to Collecting Comics on eBay. Now, I wasn't originally going to do this segment, but everything came in the mail like yesterday, so kind of a rush job, but I wanted to go over everything, and I wanted to talk to you guys about the finer points of buying stuff on eBay. One of the first things I got this week has been the Brian Hitch alternate cover to ASM 546. Now, I know this goes against everything I stand for as far as variant covers go, but, I mean, you already know that I'm kind of a little obsessed with getting every issue of Amazing Spider-Man, and also, you can't pass up Brian Hitch's cover. This should have been the regular cover, because Brian Hitch is one of the best artists out there, I think, today, and honestly, if you can get this cover on eBay, it's running for about 25 bucks in the store, maybe you get it for about 10, 15 bucks online, I think it's well worth it. Like I said, I'm going against my original policy here of variant covers and being against them, but this is definitely worth it. Also, we got today for $7, Spectacular Spider-Man's numbers 107 through 110. The original Death of Jean DeWolf, pretty decently hard storyline to come by, but I managed to get it off of one seller, so I saved a lot of money on shipping, which is what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Also from the same seller, I managed to get these two classics, Amazing 92 and 99. Together these ran me about 26 bucks. 99 was about 15, 92 I think I copped for about 8, and plus all the shipping altogether was just about 5-6 bucks. And this one, nice catch, was Iron Man 200. I think I mentioned this was coming last week. Finally came in the mail today. This is the first appearance of Obadiah Stane as Ironmonger. Get it while it's cheap, guys. It's probably not going to last that way for long. I wanted to mention to you guys about buying stuff from sellers that you know, sellers that you trust, and don't hesitate to take a look at what other auctions these guys have up. You may find stuff that you don't even know you're looking for yet, like I did with 92 and 99. I wasn't looking for those, but I happened to come across it when I was looking for the Death of Jean DeWolf. And I say, oh, you know, this guy's got some pretty good prices. Let me monitor these auctions, see what's going on. And I want to give a big shout out to Brett's Comic Pile and My Comic Shop, both eBay sellers. They got good prices. Check them out. Their selection is out of this world. Got well over 100,000 issues apiece. I'm sure you can find stuff of what you're looking for. And like I said, really the shipping price is where you want to go. Because you can find any comics on eBay. It's really just a matter of not getting your ass raped on the fucking shipping prices, because you're going to pay anywhere between $3 and $5 shipping for priority mail, which is average. But then you got these dickheads that try to say, oh, it's $8, $9 shipping. Go fuck yourself. I've mailed shit out before 100 times over. Nobody charges you $9 for shipping unless you're paying for a fucking 5-pound package. Doesn't happen. Those are assholes. Stay away from them. I don't really know who they are because, like I said, I stay away from them. As soon as I see that shipping cost, I was like, all right, whatever you got, I don't care what your price is, go fuck yourself. You're a shyster. So check out those shipping charges. I can tell you right now, My Comic Shop, it goes up like 10 cents per issue, that whatever new one you get, plus the $3.99 regular. And I'm working on another guy right now, Spider-Man Info, I think is his name, but I'll get back to you on that once those issues come in the mail. I just bought about 15 issues from him, and he's got, once you go over the 10 issue limit, it's 10 bucks shipping, flat rate, no matter how many. You can buy 100, it's still $10 shipping. So you really can't beat that. Ending off, this segment was all about your shipping costs. Make sure you pay attention. Watch out for shysters. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you next week. I love where they're going with it. This Capital Cities of Heaven story is really like reading Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
It's so much fun, and I wanted to turn around and point out one particular thing. You can check this out in the scan up ahead.
Spoiler.
Does anybody notice that symbol? Does that look familiar to anybody at all? That symbol is the Arashikage Ninja Clan symbol, which you can find in any self-respecting G.I. Joe comic featuring Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. That's kind of a fanboy treat right there. There's no mention of anything about Earth ninja
This
clans
is
or
what
anything.
we like to refer to as geek porn.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we're
absolutely.
going full onto the money shot in the next few minutes, and no one wants to really be here for that.
There was not even a mention of, oh, this is a sacred symbol. Nothing. It was just there. If you noticed it, you noticed it, like I did, and I fucking wet myself with joy.
The only thing I don't like about the arc is the Heroes for Hire reunion type
Yeah.
thing.
I'm very lukewarm.
Luke Cage doesn't know.
He needs a supporting cast, and that's like all he has.
Like
His family's dead.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like they're really sort of blowing up the Luke Cage character at this point. They have him in New Avengers. Brian Michael Bendis will literally write him into any fucking book he has.
It's like Wolverine.
Yep.
Well, it is, and and I think
He's the
it's
Black
very-
Wolverine.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think that it's a little bit, exploitive at this point. Rather than invent some like interesting new black characters, they just keep taking the same one and like putting him.
I
in
thought he
this-
was great in New Avengers.
He's great in New
He's kinda
Avengers, but
everywhere
it's
now.
like they're spreading him out over everything. And rather than like invent a new character, they're like,
They
oh
are
wait,
flooding the
we have
market
the
now.
one. Let's just use the one. Do we
Right.
have to make a? It's a little bit. It's a little bit much, man. I'm just glad that he didn't show up in this issue of New Exiles, which I picked up, because I didn't realize it was a variant cover, but it's Mike Golden cover. I've been enjoying his shit since the '70s. It's the only book out right now written by Chris Claremont, thank God. And as badly written as this was, and like as bad a cast of characters, I expected Luke Cage to make a cameo. For those who don't know, the New Exiles was a really great riff on the what if genre, where it was like, for about 100 issues, they had this crew that were like hopping from timeline to timeline. They had some really cool issues, going on. Even though the artwork was very uneven, I thought it was really good stuff. They recently wrapped it up, and they're relaunching it with Chris Claremont, who stacked this with like a really dreadful fucking cast. Like all the original characters he's created in the... Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on me. I'm sorry, but isn't Sabretooth dead? Didn't he get his dome lopped off by Wolverine?
Earth 616, Sabretooth is dead.
This is where I had a real problem with it.
Why do we
is
call it
that-
616? Is that the 616th Earth?
Well, that was
Really?
a concept that was launched
I
in
just
New
threw that out
Exiles.
there. It really is?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Well, New Exiles launched that whole concept of there being, we're numbering each Earth, and it was,
Omniverse, is it?
or something like that. They did a really good job of
I
breaking
don't
this
think they
down.
can call it the multiverse. They had to come up with some better prefix than that.
Right.
Omniverse.
But either way, it was like the encyclopedia of dorkiness for the Marvel Universe. It was really great. You got to see all these different what ifs. It was very nice. Jumping into this as a first issue, I would not recommend this to anybody. They jump in, you have no fucking clue what's what. You're right. Sabretooth is supposed to be dead in the mainstream storyline, yet here he is. Psylocke.
And he seems to be teamed with some good guys, so...
Well,
now
but all these are...
not only let's bring a character back from the dead, but let's ruin him.
Yeah, he's written as being just shy of Bill Cosby. The only character, the only character for the original series that's in it is Morph, who was a character that again existed in the Age of Apocalypse storyline, and apparently there
He
was
premiered in the
enough.
fucking cartoon. They made him a real character.
There was enough. Apparently, there was enough demand to keep him around as an interesting concept as a character. But everybody else in this are really like the characters that Chris Claremont keeps writing into every other book that nobody fucking likes, and he collected them here.
Well, the same thing. Sorry, it's
No,
the
go
same thing in Die by the Sword, the 5-issue.
Yeah.
It's the same character, Psylocke.
Yeah,
And,
that was like a huge prequel.
Right, and these are all like lame characters that really know. Sage, Mystic with a Q, Psylocke.
A male Mystique. Ill?
Oh, it's a male Mystique?
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
it was just Mystique, like, morphed
No,
as a
it's
guy.
it's a male Mystique.
it's a male Mystique. That's but you see what I'm saying? Like it's a really
Do we
like
need
the
two
whole
shapeshifters on the same fucking team?
apparently, the whole shit it's a pretty chump concept at this point. This is something that Chris Claremont will probably get a 20-issue run out of. Like the same thing with Extreme X-Men, which was another fucking retarded title.
Didn't even get it.
And this is gonna get driven into the ground by issue like 20. Maybe if it lasts longer than a year, I'll be fucking dazzled.
I wouldn't be on it for longer than
It's really sad because most of the writers in comic books these days live in dog years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And if you read about it, all the greats like Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko. By the time the '80s came around, they were calling him Jack the Hack. And Steve Ditko was having to get work at like B-list comic book companies.
Right.
And there's very little sense of gratitude or history. And Chris Claremont had like a heart attack. You kind of wish that he'd be able to get good work, but at the same time, like you don't want to settle for crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's plenty of like kids just out of college who would love to be writing this title and probably do a better job. And you really need to step your game up, or just fucking retire, man. Retire at the top of your game and Jordan it. You know what I mean?
One of the
do
best lines I ever heard was, "Quitting while you're ahead is not the same as quitting." I want to go back to our real American hero for just a second, because I know I'm like the only person that's reading this, but I've been a G.I. Joe fan since I was a little kid. I had every figure you could possibly imagine.
What a surprise.
No more whiskey for him.
Let's go with this.
Yeah.
But no, for real, G.I. Joe America's Elite has a story going on now for the past 6 months. It's going to last another 6, called World War III. It's got some really nice artwork, and it pays a lot of homage to where G.I. Joe came from back in the 80s.
Hasbro?
But not even so much Hasbro, but the Larry Hama series.
They make good,
And at this point, Cobra has essentially taken over the globe. And they've done it not through mountain retreats with giant snake heads, but through government intrigue. If you like conspiracy theories, if you like shadow agents in the government, if you're a fucking James Bond fan, this is definitely the comic for you. Because Cobra has taken over the world by basically putting agents in every government known to man, in the CIA, the FBI, the KGB, all of, China and England and France, and they have now essentially they've blanketed the globe in warfare, and they're selling the arms to everyone. So it's all just everybody's at war. That's why they call it World War III. They just took over the White House, and G.I. Joe is like, oops, what the fuck? Every G.I. Joe agent that you've seen in the comics and the toys is now somewhere, at least mentioned maybe once or so, that they're stationed all over the world. They pulled out the reserves to try and combat this menace. There's no more fucking Serpentor. There's no more Cobra Law. There's no more... we were snake people from fucking 10,000 years ago.
Listen, I like that fucking movie. You can blow me, sir.
No, the movie was awesome.
The movie
was awesome.
I have it
but
on my fucking stock.
The concept of G.I. Joe was tuned down for the little kiddies. The comic was much more violent than that. There was much. It was all about the government, and they couldn't do it in Marvel. They're doing it now in DDP.
Well, I will say this: this is significantly grittier than the sort of cartoon treatment that it was given.
Yeah.
Larry Hama was. Well, I mean, the Larry Hama treatment that it got back in the day.
Larry Hama was pissed off because Marvel was under pressure from Hasbro to put these fucking lame-ass characters that they were making for the toy line into the comics.
Right.
And Larry Hama was like, look, they suck. I don't want to do that. I had 12 characters. It was an elite fighting force, and I want to stay with that.
Well,
and he was forced not to.
But I'll tell you something, man. Devil's Due has put out some good product, and a lot of these companies like Dark Horse, Devil's Due, they stay afloat by using these licensed properties that may not be selling really hot to like mainstream comic book fans, but there's clearly a market for. I mean, for any independent title to last up to 30 issues these days, it's pretty fucking miraculous, man. You were absolutely, you hit it on the head before, where you were like, Marvel Comics has very few issue 500s of anything because they keep, second sales dip, they kill something. So, that's definitely something that supports your argument. I would never pick up a G.I. Joe comic book unless you had a gun to my groin.
Fair enough.
But otherwise, I would definitely say you should give it a shot.
If you were a fan of the toys back in the day, or if you just like government intrigue and stuff, I would definitely recommend you pick it up. These 6 issues shouldn't be hard to find. Like he said, there's not a lot of big fans of G.I. Joe, but there is a market out there for them. Finally, I want to end this series of Pete's Basement on a high note from another follow-up letter from our friend Jesse out in Cali. Jesse asked us basically, we kind of bash DC at this point, and he asked us, well, if you guys are going to keep bashing DC, well, what would we do to make it better? How would we help out DC? And I actually have a good answer to that. And he said, don't just say no more countdown and things like that, and, don't go with the obvious answer. And I want to touch on the obvious answer for just a second, because it's absolutely necessary. The problem with these large universe-spanning crossovers is DC doesn't have a lot of cool secondary characters. And if they do, the mainstream public doesn't know it. That's why Marvel outsells them. That's why Marvel is a bigger part of my comic buying budget each week, is because I'm more familiar with their characters. DC takes their cool characters and, characters like Booster Gold, who really benefited from 52. They tried to bring up these characters in 52, and it worked then. And they figured, hey, let's run with that again, and now they're
they just drove the concept into the ground. I feel, is the way I would fix DC aside from launching Dan Didio off the fucking roof of the building is just tighten up your editorial team, man. We live in the age of interactivity, and the fans can communicate with the writers through forums, through websites, but ultimately it falls to the editorial teams to really sort of dictate what gets put out there. And we all understand is that it's hard money in any of the publishing industries out here right now, man. And we get it. You want to capitalize off the successful stuff that you did last year, but you got to give it a little fucking breathing room. You know what I mean? They went directly from 52 and this Infinite Crisis, and they created this whole status quo system, and then are immediately tearing it down. There's no investment in it. None of the fucking cast, none of the fans really give a shit about what's going on right now.
That's really what it comes down to.
And, they follow up with these completely diffused, watered down, badly written, badly drawn, concepts that are based off of better planned stuff from before. You know what I mean? It's just tighten up your game, man.
My problem is you don't get a feel for the characters. The reason people like Marvel characters is because they know them, they understand them. These universe-spanning crossovers don't give you any chance to really get to know the character. You don't get to know what makes them tick, who their supporting cast is. You just see them in this crossover, and you're too busy wondering what's going on next in this fucking huge crossover, where it's going to touch it next to get in touch with the character.
And on top of that, with something like Countdown, is that 52 and the Infinite Crisis stuff, they managed to deliver in a really tight format. It was 52, and then it was going. Everything that was going on in the adjacent books in the timeline.
Yeah.
They used it as a real spine for the series. 15, or excuse me, Countdown. God damn, it's like. Also it's trying to purge itself from my vocabulary. But Countdown, it's like diffused over 13 different spin-off books to this. They're all adjacent to what's going on in the actual titles, and and it's like diarrhea, man. It's like loose, liquidy, and it stinks.
Thank you.
So how would I fix it? Just stop being so greedy about it, man. Tighten up the lineup that you have, and go with the strong lineup as opposed to putting out all the fucking B-listers from the bench, man. Just tighten it up. That's all you got to do, man. And fire your editorial staff.
Yeah.
And literally just staple Dan Didio's testicles to the desk so that he doesn't leave and he doesn't show up to the editorial meetings to ruin this shit. That's a personal request. I don't wish you ill, Dan Didio. I just wish you...
No, not at all.
I just wish you weren't working in this particular line of employment or living on this continent.
What Adam is trying to say is
Jesus.
The way we would fix DC at this point is stop with the universe-spanning crossovers. Give us a chance to reflect on the characters that we do like and up your character, Andy. Let us get to know them.
Yes.
Let us feel them out, and then eventually we'll like them enough to maybe you can start a lineup of their own. Like Booster Gold's issue is still doing really well.
Yeah,
I don't read it myself, but I've heard it's really good.
It is really good. It's it ties really well into the continuity. It's another Jeff Johns book. Jesse actually contributes to a blog out there, and I wanted to shout them out real quick. Prep Time Posse at blogspot.com. They've been going for a while. They have a really good, intelligent critique of comic books, not just the mainstream stuff. They got a really broad grasp of stuff. So I understand that they've gotten into arguments with actually established writers like Brian Wood.
Sweet.
That's cool.
So shout out to Prep. It's preptimeposse.blogspot.com. To any of our viewers, all 5 of them, I highly recommend you visit the site. And definitely a shout out to Justin Cargath. I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name. You saw us on iTunes and felt generous enough to drop us a line at questions@peatsbasement.com. That's our cameraman who's going to get beat down once we shut this off.
My ninja's going
And other than that, man, I think we covered the breadth of it.
I think so. I think we have completed another successful episode of Pete's Basement. We hope you'll join us next week, and we want to thank the fans.
Wow,
all 3 of you. Take it easy, guys.
Thank you, Mom.
Have a good week.
I don't know.
Oh, man. Andrew? Oh, man.
See how tight this is. Don't forget.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the 3rd installment of Pete's Basement, straight out of Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Where was I going with that? You ready? Yeah. What are you doing with the tape?
Put it on the floor. Do that tape. Oh, that's like still coming in the end credits.
See, there it goes, there it goes!
I didn't catch it. I'm recording.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the 3rd installment of Pete's...
Yeah, he was yawning too. Third episode, Adam's already. What the hell are we doing?
Slap my nuggets on the trail.